stepmother-in-law made everything about her, so I blocked her. Don't ever talk to me again. And this comes directly from the r/OKstorytime subreddit, and there is a trigger warning for verbal abuse. I met the love of my life, Pickles, around 5 years ago while working as a cashier. He was picking up his sister, who was one of my work friends. I know it sounds corny, but it was love at first sight for both of us. By the way, this comes from My Mom Is Not a Watermelon. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Angie.
I'm Lilo.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we both said hi, and he would come into the store many times after that just to talk to me. We never exchanged phone numbers since I was on the clock and he didn't want to scare me off, so we would always talk and then leave things at that. That is, until I found out we had the same mutual friend. This friend had a private story on Snapchat, so I decided to post and congratulate him on his graduation. Within 10 minutes, I got a friend request and added him back. Within seconds, he sent me a snap, and it was indeed the man I was looking for.
Huzzah!
Yes! We started talking, and after a few hours of texting, he asked me if he could take me somewhere, and I excitedly agreed. We went out to climb on top of a building that everyone in my town calls the Bull to stargaze and talk about our lives, then ended the night sharing our first kiss. I had met his family when I dropped his sister off at home after her shift, since we both got off at the same time. She invited me in, and I met my father-in-law, Rob, her 4 siblings, her grandma, 3 dogs, including a Duke Pit Terrier mix, 1 cat, and of course, Karen, my stepmother-in-law. Now, please don't judge me for this, but when I met Karen, I thought she was Rob's queer sister. I say this because she had a blonde pixie haircut with faded blue, pink, and purple hair dye and was wearing a rainbow tie-dyed t-shirt. I was honestly shocked when they told me they were married. She was extremely nice at first, but after a while, her mask started lifting and she showed her true tie-dye colors. I just want to put this out that Rob is an absolute angel, and I don't know how he puts up with Karen. After about a year of dating Pickles, I had some family issues, and it ended up coming up in a conversation with the family. Rob and Karen both told me to come live with them and move my stuff into their home since they understood what those specific family issues were like. After them constantly telling me things would be better if I just moved in, I eventually did, but not without showing my appreciation by cooking, cleaning, and helping out financially. It wasn't long before Karen started yelling, berating, and belittling the kids in front of me.
What?
She always had, at minimum, 2 things to complain and get angry about in a day.
Oh my goodness.
Whether it be someone leaving a toothbrush on the sink in the bathroom or a towel falling off the rack. But I continued to live there thinking maybe she was having a bad week or it just wasn't a good month. About a year later, Pickles popped the big question in front of all his family at their Christmas Eve get-together. They were all in on it. Not even 5 minutes after I told him I would marry him, Karen opened her big mouth and said, "When are we having the wedding? What theme are we thinking? Ew, we should do this. We should do that. Blah, blah, blah." I had no idea he was going to propose to me 5 minutes prior, and we need to start planning now. Calm down. We did end up sitting down and planning the wedding and set our wedding date for September of 2023. Karen then asked me if she could plan the wedding and said both her and Rob wanted to pay for the wedding. I had asked her multiple times if she was sure, and she assured me she wanted to do everything and pay for it. Both Pickles and I agreed, but only if they were sure. Keep in mind, this was a small, low-budget wedding, especially since we didn't want them to have to pay a crazy amount of money on us. This becomes important later. Some time passed, and Pickles and I decided we wanted to start our family together, but under one condition. We would be out of the house before the baby was born, and he agreed. After we found out I was pregnant,
Oh, shoot.
we told the family around 5 days later with painted t-shirts with the words, "I'm going to be a mom," mine. "I'm going to be a dad," Pickles. "I'm going to be a grandma." "I'm going to be a grandpa," shirts. We had Rob and Karen close their eyes and had my husband's aunt and uncle put their t-shirts on them as we changed into ours. Once everyone had the t-shirts on, we had them turn around and open their eyes. The first words out of Karen's mouth were, "No wonder you were being such a witch. I knew it."
What?
Huh? That was the first words?
First of all, when was she being a witch?
Yeah, man.
Second of all, Hey, whoa, calm down.
Ever heard of congratulations?
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Both Pickles and I exchanged what the F glances with each other, but didn't say anything until we were somewhere private. He later told me that if anything, I was acting happier than normal. I wasn't being witchy in any way, shape, or form. Fast forward about a month or so later, my morning sickness was absolutely unbearable. Remember how I said they had 3 dogs? Well, unfortunately, I have to bring them into this story. Duke is an extremely sweet, extremely large dog who wasn't properly house-trained due to everyone in the house being out most of the day. The only issue with him was that he wasn't potty trained. That and his chronic diarrhea. I was the one who cleaned up after him most of the days before and after my work shifts. And when he has to go, he'll go. All over the unfinished hardwood floors.
God.
Once my morning sickness started in, I couldn't clean up his fecal matter without having to take at least 3 trips to the bathroom in between scoops. So I didn't do as much of the cleaning as I used to. One day, Karen started yelling at me and saying that pregnancy isn't an excuse to be lazy and that I don't do crap around the house. Mind you, I was still cooking and cleaning the exact same way I used to. Bathrooms, kitchen, rooms, doing the dishes piled up in the sink. The only thing that changed was cleaning up dog poop, and even then, I still cleaned it up most of the time. They have 3 dogs. When one takes a big old dookie, all of them take big old dookies. The worst of it became more frequent during the 1-month wedding countdown. I had found out I was pregnant in July, and one of my closest friends bought my dress for me as my wedding gift on Amazon. I picked a $125 black corset back dress and absolutely loved it. We decided to order a size up just in case since, well, I was pregnant. When I told Karen that I ordered the dress 1 size up just in case, she started screaming, "Only a size? You're going to balloon out and you only ordered 1 size up? What's going to happen when the dress comes and it doesn't fit you because you're too huge? Who would make changes on that dress for you? Who would pay for it when I was pregnant?" And the rant continued. Keep in mind, I wasn't even showing yet at 5 months. Our baby was growing close to my spine, so I could have even hid the pregnancy if I wanted to. And due to throwing up almost everything I ate, I was losing weight at the time.
Oh, gosh.
The dress came a week before the wedding, and I was so relieved. It was beautiful, a little big here and there, but it fit, and I was happy about it. Karen, for once, had nothing to say, probably since my friend had brought the dress to me and was there to watch me put it on. Within the week time frame, Karen would yell, belittle, and berate me on the daily. I had paid for everything meal-related. We decided to make walking tacos since they're cheap and absolutely delicious. Karen started screaming at me when I told her how much ground beef I was buying and asked me, "What if that isn't enough? What happens if we run out of food? I'm definitely not going to leave the wedding to get it, so you would have to go out to get more." The bride would have to go out to get more beef?
Dude.
Where's the beef?
Dude,
you
chill
talking
out,
about?
Karen. You don't need to freak out about everything. If it's a problem, then we can fix it.
Yeah, let's cross that bridge when we get to it.
Calm your booty down.
Sit it down, too. You'd have to leave your own wedding because you were stupid and
Oh
didn't
my
think about
God.
anyone besides yourself. I was planning on getting 3 10-pound tubes of ground beef. I ended up buying an entire case of ground beef. Thank goodness it was on sale. It was $30 a tube, and it was normally $60 per.
Oh, wow.
After getting the beef and all the utensils, plates, etc., I got back to the house, and my husband was talking with them about the wedding. Pickle said, "We got the food," to which I responded, "I got the food, since I paid for it with my money." When Karen heard that, she jumped up and said, "Was that a jab to my son?" How?
No, it was a jab to you.
I responded, "It was a joke." "Well, I didn't find it effing funny. It sounded like you made a jab at my son. I protect my son from anything, and I'm going to do everything it takes to protect him from you. I don't even think your marriage is going to last. I give it a year and you'll be done." I was fuming at this point and told her, "I have nothing to prove to you, but every day for the rest of my life, I will prove you wrong." Then I left the home, went out to my car, and cried.
Oh.
Well, you held it in. You look strong, and,
Yeah.
and then you get, emotions out. And that's
Exactly.
important too.
Good job.
When I eventually came back into the home, there was no apology. The day after was the day before the wedding. Karen didn't come home from work until later in the day. The second she came home, she asked me if I had found a place for daycare. I told her that I had been looking into 3 places already. She responded with, 3 places?
Oh my God.
Only 3 places. I could make 10 phone calls and have 10 places within 15 minutes. Then do it.
Yeah, dude.
Freaking do it.
You move and do it far away from me.
Oh, and if you can't take care of your child up to my standard, I'll take your baby away. The baby will stay with me. And if you want to take a legal approach, I'll call CVS and have your child taken far away from you. I'm assuming you meant CPS, unless there's another service. At least if I take the baby, you could still see it around the house. I ran out to my car after crying in front of Karen for the things she said to me. I sat in the driver's side and texted my mom, telling her that I loved her, to which she responded with, "Are you okay?" It was late, it was out of the blue, and things had gotten better between us. Before I knew it, I got a call from my dad and spilled everything that had happened within the 2 years I had been gone. He told me to come home. I told him I couldn't. They had paid for the wedding, and I wanted to marry the love of my life. I told them we could hold off for one more day until the wedding. My parents were at the wedding, and my dad walked me down the aisle. Everything was perfect until we got to our wedding party photos. While we were gone, Karen started a fight with my husband's real mom by yelling at her daughter for sitting at a table that wasn't reserved. Mind you, there were no designated seating arrangements. We didn't know about this until afterward when our friends texted us. I would have lost my crap at Karen if I'd known she started drama, especially since we made it clear we didn't want any. After we found an apartment, we didn't plan to tell them about moving until the day we were moving in. I started packing boxes and moving them to my parents' garage. My husband ended up telling them when Karen was talking about getting things ready for the baby in the basement. The basement was falling apart. If there was ever a flash flood, water would come pouring in. And your stepmother-in-law wants to put the baby in there? No.
It can't swim.
It can't swim. It's
Come
a
on.
baby.
It's a baby.
There were wolf spiders everywhere and other critters.
Oh my God.
Upstairs had nails sticking out of the floorboards, big holes in the wall, and dried dog poop between the unfinished hardwood.
Oh my God.
There was no way we were staying there with a baby. When husband told them, Karen said, "You two are going to fail on your own, and I'm going to laugh when you come crawling back.
Oh my God.
I would
dude.
rather live in a cardboard box under a bridge than spend one more second under her roof." She would make comments about how we weren't going to make it. We had already signed on the apartment, so obviously it was too late. And I was so happy. Move-in day came, and within the first 5 minutes, Karen was yelling at Rob. Pickles raised his voice and said, "If you guys are going to yell, do it at your home, not ours. If we get a noise complaint the first day we move in, I'm going to be pissed." Karen was taken aback because he had never talked to her like that.
Yay, Pickles.
Yes, you finally did it.
Stand up. Stand up to your mama. Woo.
She had absolutely no control in our home. When everyone left, I told Pickles that someday Karen was going to blow up, and when she did, I would block her. We both hoped she wouldn't because we honestly cared about her and wanted her to change. But eventually, after some odd encounters, including her jumping on top of my husband in our bed to tickle him awake and kiss his neck.
Ew. Ew.
Sorry?
Your stepmom kissing your neck? Ew. That's so gross. I hate it.
What?
Karen, I'm going to call CVS on you.
The fact that that wasn't even the day that OP counts as, like, you know, the day of reckoning is crazy.
Yeah.
I was 2 months postpartum at this point. I had sent her and 12 other people the same video on Facebook talking about how the times your baby is little go by way too fast. Instead of thinking it was sweet, she started going crazy, asking me if I was calling her a bad mother and if this video meant I was taking your son away from her. He's a grown adult, not a baby. I apologized and informed her that I had sent the same video to 12 other people. That didn't shut her up. She yelled at me over text and started bringing things up. Eventually, she started getting into extremely personal things to hurt me. That drew the line for me, and I went off on her. I then brought up when she told me she would take my child away, and she completely ignored my text. She ran out of excuses, so instead she talked about the wedding, how she planned it and paid for it. I told her she had asked to do those things. We never once asked her. She still wasn't understanding. So eventually I just sat back and asked myself if she was worth this. If she's talking to me this way, she will eventually talk to my child that way, and I didn't want that to happen. So I told her that she could call me whatever name she would like and that it didn't matter to me anymore. She was no longer welcome on our property, and we didn't ever want to see her again. She has no right to my child, and I told her that I hope she would eventually change and to disrespectfully go F herself. And then I blocked her. Rob is still in her lives because, as I said before, he's an absolute angel and did nothing wrong to us. Why is he married to this crazy lady?
Dude, that's a great question.
What happened there?
I don't know, Rob.
Rob. But Karen gets jealous, and if she can't see our baby, he can't either. He still comes over every now and then when she's working or is out of the house, but part of me can't help but feel awful about blocking her. So am I the a-hole? What do you say?
I say
No. No.
definitely not.
Why would you think you're the a-hole?
Yeah, that is just so.
Your stepmother-in-law is crazy.
Listen, like, I don't yell at people, but if I had this Karen in my life,
yeah.
oh boy, I would have yelled so much sooner than all this.
Oh boy, I don't know how you got through all of this.
Dude, I do not know
She
either.
sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Dreadful. But there is an update, and I hope it gets better and that your partner just cuts her off.
Snip.
Cut
Out.
it out. Update. Pickles recently talked to one of his old coworkers who now works with stepmother-in-law Karen and found out that Karen has been telling people, everyone who would listen that is, that Pickles was her biological son. What the actual F?
What?
When my husband found out, he turned beet red and showed his old coworker a picture of him and his real mom in the delivery room when he was first born. The nerve of this woman.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, I can't believe you guys have the nerve to not listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Hey, whoa, 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 hey, whoa.
Yeah, that's my thought too. That's my thought.
Yeah. What about you, Keon?
Who's Keon? I'm Lilo.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
You're Lilo.
What about you, Lilo?
Make sure you adopt an alien dog named, Stitch.
Yeah, what
Experiment
do you
626.
What do you think Stitch would say to
Oh, he would
Karen?
be saying some really outlandish stuff. Yeah.
Probably attack and
Yeah. Bing, 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 bing.
yeah.
Yeah, that. Something like that.
Exactly.
All of that.
All of that.
But we got a little bit left. Pickles told his dad about the whole thing, and Rob said he heard something about it, but thinks it's just a rumor. I'm unsure what to do now because Rob seems to be so brainwashed by Karen that he can't comprehend her lying about anything, even though he's caught her in lies in the past. Karen preaches honesty. She claims she can't lie and that it just feels wrong, and that she would never lie, and that you can tell when she's lying because she's that bad at it. And yet
Well.
she's lied about everything that has gone on with the kids. Rob and my husband and me claiming everyone is out to get her. Seems like she finds a way.
My future sister-in-law gave me rules for her wedding, and I think she hates me.
That's tough.
I, 22 female, messaged my future sister-in-law, Sarah, 24 female, about what colors I should stay away from, or if she had a certain color in mind. She told me the color I needed to wear, so I sent her a picture of the dress I was looking at, and she approved it. I then got a call from Sarah, expecting a usual rant about work, but instead, she gave me a list of rules that she wanted me to follow. By the way, this comes from username, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do down below. So, OP says, the rules. 1. I am not allowed to go to the rehearsal dinner that my future in-laws are paying for. I am not allowed at any of the showers during the ceremony. I am not allowed to sit with the family. Instead, I am to sit in the back corner where I am not to be seen. During the reception, I am not allowed to sit with the family or my fiance Lucas, 21 male. Instead, I'm going to sit with the other +1s. I am supposed to wear earthy colors to look like I will be in pictures, but I'm not allowed to be in the pictures. No one else will be wearing earthy colors. I am not allowed to wear my engagement ring to her wedding. I cannot wear any whites, not even French tips or a white bra. The only rule that I questioned was the reception rule. She said she had the seating arrangements done since March. If that were the case, I'd be okay with sitting the other +1 since Lucas and I had only been dating for a few months. However, one of my fiance's brother, Isaiah, 23 male, and Sarah didn't have a venue until August. By July, they both knew that Lucas had bought a ring and was going to propose at the end of the year, which would mean we would be engaged by their wedding, which is Easter weekend. I brought the whole conversation up to Lucas, so he texted my fiance's other brother, Grant, 26 male, and Isaiah separately. Lucas only brought up the seating arrangement to Isaiah, to which he responded, "Are y'all married? I have social anxiety, which I am medicated for, so sitting with random people, essentially men I do not know, or especially men I do not know, due to trauma, gives me anxiety. Sarah knows this." Lucas told Grant the entire situation, and Grant said that he would pick me up and move me during the ceremony and reception, would refuse to be in pictures, and would get a fake ring if I wasn't wearing mine. Lucas eventually told my future mother-in-law about the seating arrangement, but she said that she would handle it, but was told an excuse by Sarah. Later that night, mother-in-law was talking to Lucas and me, and she said she doesn't think Sarah loves Isaiah. She thinks Sarah's in love with getting married. I am not a mean person, and I've tried to get to know Sarah every chance I get because she will be family come July. I have been nothing but nice to her and don't understand where these rules came from. A couple of days later, Sarah called me again. I was expecting more rules. Instead, she asked me when Lucas and my wedding was. When I asked if she got the save the date, she said yes. She then said that our wedding is an inconvenience for her and she doesn't know if she can get off work. We sent the save the dates in February. I told her that she knew about the wedding well in advance and could request time off of work. She said that that's still an inconvenience and doesn't know if she can make it. She then said that if she doesn't come, Isaiah, one of Lucas's groomsmen and brother, won't come either. So what should I do? Should I follow her rules? Should I talk to mother-in-law about it? If so, should I wait until after the wedding so I don't cause a scene? I do not want Sarah at our wedding if she's going to cause a scene. But we do have an update.
Oh boy.
The wedding is officially over.
Thank goodness.
So I figured I'd post an update on what happened. I ended up going to the rehearsal dinner, ceremony, and reception. Neither Sarah nor Isaiah said a word to me the whole time I was there. My fiance and I stayed a good portion of the time and both ended up having a good time for the most part. I met some of his family that lived across the country for the first time, talked to them as well as a few other people who are invited to our wedding, and spent a lot of time with my fiance's cousin and his wife, 28 male and 30 female. Let's start at the rehearsal dinner. Lucas, Grant, and I received dirty looks from all of the bridesmaids and their dates. They would look at Lucas and me and start whispering. Luckily, it only lasted a couple of hours. After the rehearsal dinner, Sarah called future father-in-law and demanded a script of the wedding and said she could find someone else if he did not provide it. When future mother-in-law and I first got to the venue, I went to the bathroom. I met Sarah's grandmother and had a lovely conversation until the two of the bridesmaids came in. They asked what I was doing there and told me it was a bridal party only room. This bathroom that OP is in is a bridal party only.
Bridal party only. You have to pay $1 to pee.
Yeah. Get out of here, Grandma, because she's in there too. Grandma's not a bridesmaid.
Is bridal party only, Grandma.
Come on.
If you're not bridal party, you can't pee.
You can't pee.
All bathrooms are bridal party.
Yeah. And it's taking place in Urinetown. I told them it was the bathroom and their room was next door. I thanked the grandmother for the conversation, complimented her dress, and walked outside. I was talking to Lucas's cousins, Shannon and Bentley, the cousin and wife from before, and they asked how everything was going. I laughed and then spilled everything to Shannon. She was appalled by the rules and told me not to follow them. Bentley asked to see my hand, and when he saw I was wearing my ring, he told me that he's never been so proud of me before. During the meal, I was sitting with the +1s and mostly talked to one of the groomsmen's girlfriends. The maid of honor came up and offered us chicken nuggets since she could tell that we didn't like the meal. She then went back to the bridesmaids' table. They all looked at us and laughed. There were never any chicken nuggets. Lucas and I went around and spoke with a bunch of people. I was a social butterfly and was sober. The day after the wedding, Lucas was on the phone with his mom, and he accidentally told his mom everything Sarah and the bridesmaids had said. Although I wanted to be the one to tell her, I'm glad it was out in the open. I called future mother-in-law and let her know that I didn't think Lucas would tell her and that I thought it should have come from me at a later date so she can enjoy the wedding. I let her know that I did not want to cause a scene or add extra stress to anyone before the wedding. She said she appreciated how I presented myself and apologized for Sarah's behavior. She did not give her an excuse and agreed that I was being singled out. She thanked me for trying to get to know and form relationships with everyone in the family. I let her know that if Sarah made a rude comment or even a face at anything, she would be asked to leave. Future mother-in-law understood and said that that's if she even comes, but she would not blame anyone for asking her to leave. And I would not blame you if you wanted to listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
And there is a little bit more to the story, but what do we think so far? We're getting some people rounded up here on our side.
Get those people rallied.
Yeah.
Rally. Again, I honestly still probably wouldn't go to the wedding, but if everyone's on your side, maybe we can, just be there. And
yeah,
I wouldn't go if you have to do all of those things. I would say, hey, I'm going to come to the wedding.
Yeah.
I'm going to be chill about it. I'm going to sit down and not take attention. But if I have to do any of these, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, totally. And if she gets mad, if I went and she got mad at me for not following the rules, I would just leave. Be like,
yeah. You go, you don't follow any of the rules, and then if she says anything, you leave.
Yeah. Because at least you are meeting other family members. I'm glad.
Yeah.
At least that seems like it's going well. So that's good. We do have a little bit more to the story.
Let's do it.
The overall consensus was that the now married couple would not last more than 5 years. I also learned that the best man spoke to Isaiah before the wedding and asked if he was sure about this. He did not think they were a good match, but said that he would still support them. Wow. And we have an edit here. Lucas and I are getting married in July. Our wedding is planned to be super relaxed, Western, and the officiant is going to do some of it in his Forrest Gump voice. We're planning our wedding to be like our personalities. Fun, not super serious. And we do have some comments here. Comment number 1 says, since Western weddings often include buffet-style eating, barbecue, I hope, or classic American, I sincerely hope that you order a giant pan of chicken nuggets for your wedding so that you can have the last laugh on that one.
And then toss them in front of her and say, there's your chicken nuggets.
Right.
I hope you hate them.
OP responds, we are doing barbecue. Unfortunately, she loves chicken and only eats chicken nuggets or only eats chicken tenders, so I'm making it a point to not have chicken at the wedding at all. Comment number 2 says, I wonder if she has feelings for Lucas. She sounds a mess, but brother-in-law is putting up with it, so that's on him to deal with. I would say if Isaiah does not show up for your wedding, then go very low contact with him and Godzilla. Opie says, I highly doubt this, especially since Lucas is more country and she's more, I hate to be rude, but stuck up in a way. They don't have the same values or anything, so... Comment number 3 says, this whole saga was impressive. I come from a dramatic extended family and have been present for at least a couple dozen weddings, and even I have never witnessed such petty behavior by a bride. Like, did she even enjoy her wedding? It doesn't seem like it.
No, she can't have.
Yeah.
She absolutely could not have enjoyed it when you're having that much. I feel like when it gets to the point where you're trying to control every aspect of the wedding, you've lost the enjoyment of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, as a person who's hosted a lot, when you try and, like, fix everything and, like, micromanage it, you're not enjoying your wedding.
No, not at all.
You're a party planner.
You might think you're enjoying it by, like, when you make fun of some random girl, but, like, that's not
fun.
It's not a good way to enjoy your wedding.
No.
It's not long term. OP responds, honestly, I think that's the takeaway here. She spent her entire wedding worrying about making sure one of the guests didn't feel comfortable. I doubt she genuinely enjoyed many moments or that they will be a happy memory for her. She spent all this time, effort, and money on such a huge occasion in her life and squandered it.
Yep.
And probably ruined it for her husband too. And
probably.
that's the end of that story.
There it goes.
Yeah, probably.